Degrees of comparison. Adjective. Whenever we are going to learn degree of comparison, adjective is most important. We use adjective to describe noun. There are different forms of adjectives. We use adjective in different forms to compare two or more nouns. It means to show the comparison, we use adjective, the different forms of adjectives. What is meant by degrees of comparison? Different forms of adjective used to show comparison are called degrees of comparison. Which different forms of adjective we are using, that we are going to learn in detail in this video. There are three types of degrees of comparison. First is positive degree, second is comparative degree, and third is superlative degree. Let's learn one by one in detail. First is positive degree. The simple form of the adjective is known as positive degree. For example, Trisha is a tall girl. Now, tall is a adjective. So, tall is a simple form of a adjective. So, this simple form we can call positive degree. Shiv is a smart boy. Smart. Smart is a adjective. Simple form of a adjective. To identify the type of degree, we first have to understand the adjective. Third is Tina's bag is heavy. In this sentence, heavy is a simple form of adjective. So here in these three sentences, tall, smart, heavy, these are simple forms of adjectives. So wherever we will get these simple forms of adjective, that degree will be positive degree. Second type is comparative degree. The form of the adjective that helps us to compare two nouns is known as the comparative degree. Here we can have a comparison between two nouns. We add er to the adjective. We usually use than after the comparative form of an adjective. So er we are using, and after er we use than. Let's learn with the example. Trisha is taller than Tina. Taller. So in the previous example, positive degree, we have learned simple form of adjective, that was tall, but here we have joined er. Okay. Second example is Shiv is smarter than Raju. Smarter is a adjective. So we have joined er to the smart to make its comparative form. Tina's bag is heavier than Prisha's. Actual simple form is heavy, but here we have joined er to make its comparative form, and after heavier we have joined than. Heavier than. Here is the comparison given between Tina's bag and Prisha's bag. Okay. So like that we have learned comparative degree. Now third is superlative degree. The form of the adjective that helps us to compare more than two nouns is known as a superlative degree. Now here we will have a comparison between more than two nouns. Okay. So here we add est to the adjective. We usually use the before the superlative form of an adjective. Let's learn with the example. Trisha is the tallest girl in our class. Tallest. Tallest is adjective here. So we have joined est to the tall adjective. Trisha's comparison is given with the whole class. Okay. Second is Shiv is the smartest boy in our family. Now the comparison is between Shiv and whole family. So smartest is a adjective here. This is the oldest train in town. In the whole town, the comparison is given with the other trains. So this is oldest train in town. So in this way we have to join est in the superlative form of the degree. Now let's learn some rules. Rule number 1. For most adjectives, add er and est. First is fast. Here we have to add er, faster. And for the superlative degree, est, fastest. Great, greater, greatest. Long, longer, longest. Short, shorter, shortest. These are the three forms of degree. In short, for comparative degree, we have to add er to the adjective, and for superlative degree, est. Rule number 2. For adjectives ending with e, we have to add them r and st. Let's learn with the example. The table is given: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. The simple form, it is given in the positive degree, brave. So we have to just add r because e is already there, the last letter. B-R-A-V-E. E is already there, so we will add only r. And in the superlative form of the degree, we will add only st at the end because e is already given. Cute, cuter, cutest. Large, larger, largest. Rare, rarer, rarest. So add r in comparative degree and st in superlative degree. Now next rule is rule number 3. Adjective ending with consonant plus y, we need to remove y, and in the place of y we will add ier and iest. For example is given happy. Last letter is y and before y we have a p consonant. So remove y and write ier, happier. And in superlative degree we will remove y and in the place of y we will write iest, happiest. So if you get consonant plus y, then we have to follow this rule. Let's run with the example. Busy, last letter is y. So remove y and add ier, busier. And here we have to add iest, busiest. Pretty, prettier, prettiest. Tiny, tinier, tiniest. Happy, happier, happiest. So these are the examples of consonant plus y. Remember this rule. Rule number 4. For adjectives of one syllable with a single consonant at the end. This is very interesting. Now first we have to understand what is meant by syllable. A syllable is a word or part of a word that has only one vowel sound. So only one vowel sound we will have here. For example, H-O-T, hot. Single consonant at the end. Before consonant we have a vowel sound. O says O. Okay. So that last letter we have to double in this rule. For example, F-I-T, fit. Double the last letter. F-I-T-T-R, fitter. Fittest. So here like this same rule we have to follow. Hot, hotter, hottest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Wet, wetter, wettest. Here we have to double the last letter, okay? Before that last letter we must have vowel. Then only we have to double that last letter. Now next is rule number 5. For adjectives with more than 2 syllables, we use more and most before the adjective. Let's see. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Comfortable, more comfortable, most comfortable. So this is for more than 2 syllables. Peaceful, more peaceful, most peaceful. Dangerous, more dangerous, most dangerous. So this rule we use for more than 2 syllables. Okay. Now let's move towards the next rule. Rule number 6. Some adjectives do not follow any rule. We use them by changing their spellings. Here we have to change the spelling itself. like good, better, best, many, more, most, little, less, least, bad, worse, worst. So in this way, we have learned total 6 rules of changing the degrees. Now this is your homework time. Complete the table. Here I have given some words in the positive degree simple form of adjective. You have to write their correct forms. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.